Hello, hello, and welcome back to our Blood Rush League qualifier matches. We've got a spirit set on Ormond. How do we feel about this, Jen?
I am honestly extremely excited. As you're aware, Spirit is one of my mains, so I'm very excited to see how this match goes.
Yeah, definitely with you on that. You're gonna have to carry me on the casting here because you know much more about Spirit than I do, unfortunately. So, we do see Gallowflake with the sprint burst here, and Alkila's just opting to phase and try and secure a quick tag onto our Arella. But unfortunately, losing our Arella and getting stunned over here and blinded, we do see the Champion of Light come through onto Alkila. So our Spirit's gonna be a little bit slow for a bit.
Our Aurora actually did really amazing there with stealthing and hiding scratch marks. Arella may have actually also done the teabag tech with Spirit to kind of reduce the sounds that she's making, like from exhaustion from running.
Yeah, definitely. And also, picking Arella on a spirit set is definitely a good pick. As we can see, we've got an Arella, an Ada, and an Ace, which are currently like the three quietest survivors in the game. So definitely some smart picks from our survivors here to play quiet characters on a spirit set. They know their
Absolutely.
stuff. As we can see,
Absolutely.
we've just lost our Arella. She's on the other side of the map. We don't know where she is. Lost the one person we needed to chase, and she's already been reset. So it's looking quite unfortunate for our killer here, having a gen on the board already pop and zero stages on the board. So it's unfortunate.
And as you said, like with three survivors, like with our survivors here choosing three of our quietest, that is something that you never want to go against when you're playing Spirit, is going against the
Definitely,
three
yeah.
quietest survivors out of the entire roster you can pick from.
Literally, like so our survivors clearly know what they're doing, but we're committing to our Ada here on main. Probably not a good place to chase a spirit because main is pretty good on Almond here. It looks like our Ada has just dropped off of main, holding W to the one side of the map, 12 side of the map actually, and it looks like we're going to be opting to vault this 4 lane and break the filler. And oh my god, our
Ada's,
survivors are just playing beautifully here.
Ada's pathing was really, really good there, opting to go to Edge.
There we go. We see a hit come through from Fide here. Very very nice stuff. Good prediction on that on the filler here, and it looks like have we lost her? Have we lost her again because she's so quiet? She tried to crouch behind the tree, but unfortunately we heard her. And that'll be Fide getting the first hook across the board. Really, really good stuff here. Our survivors seem to not have popped another gen for this chase, which is really, really good for our killer here. Possibly going to be able to go to Shaq. Might be able to stop Shaq. If not Shaq, main, I assume. And we see our killer. What do you think about this killer build, though?
Um, I do think it's at times it can definitely be quite wise to use the combination of Pain Res with Ruin, especially if Ruin gets taken out very, very early in the game. At least that way you've then got that extra security blanket.
Yeah, definitely. I also always find Ruin Eruption to be a unique combo that's used quite a lot in comp because if no one ever cleanses Ruin, then you've got free perks pretty much to work with. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to be committing our Ada here at Shaq. And oh my god, I think that was an accident from our Ada here, dropping Shaq on the wrong side and getting grabbed. That is so unfortunate because she had all of Shaq to play there. But we do see three gens on the board pop here. So two gens remaining and our Ada is on Death Hook here. Two stages across the board. So it's not looking too strong for our killer. Our killer is really going to have to put in a lot more here to secure a good win con for their survivors next round.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that our Kelly here can turn this around, but it's definitely two stages with only two generators left. It's not looking great.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. It's gonna be really hard. Like the only way this will be turned around is if survivors make a lot of mistakes here. Especially actually wait, we do have quite a 4 gen here. You could call this a 4 gen that our killer can hold, especially with a killer like Spirit who has such high mobility. You can possibly hold this. And we do see Arella here just being annoying, just distracting our killer. And we miss the M1, which is quite unfortunate. It looks like we're opting to phase and catch back up to our Arella, but she does the Champion of Light flashlight tech. So her footprints are suppressed, but it looks like she'll just be trading here for our Ada as our Ada runs to the one side of the map and tries to play as much as she can. A lovely balanced landing coming through from our Ada here. Just trying to make as much distance as she can to the other side of the map. But I believe Arella had dropped this pallet earlier, so... Oh my god, our Ada's just able to stall this out to the max. She's just playing this beautifully, but the hit does come through into Ada. And Gallowflake is still unfortunately on the ground. So who knows, our killer could possibly turn this around.
And that was a beautiful window fake there too, done by our Ada.
Yeah, and as I say that, we do see our last two gens pop across the board. We're just trying to follow as much scratch marks as we can and see if we can catch anyone else out. Looks like we're opting to chase our ace here. Arella's also on the ground nearby, so it's honestly not a bad time to chase. But our exit gate is opened by Prodigy, so it's looking really rough here. I think at most it'll be a 6th stage.
Again, doing really well there to also hide his scratch marks too. You can tell that these survivors are very confident with going against Spirit.
Yeah, definitely agree. And it looks like our killer just opted to leave our ace, not look for him any further, and just pick up Gallowflake and possibly confirm the 6th stage. It looks like that's exactly what we'll be doing. We see Prodigy leave the trial, which means Dolly's probably going to leave the trial too. And yeah, as I say that, the 6th stage is confirmed across the board for FIDE here. It's quite a steep win con for Xtra here. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to really play out of their mind on the Survivor side and secure a 5th stage so they can win this set. So we'll be back after a short intermission with Memories Killer, I believe. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of our Extraverse Memories Spirit Almond match here. We do see Gallowflake playing the Spirit for Memories. I believe we had a bit of lag there. And we're seeing a different approach with our build, running sloppy to try and keep pressure across the board and have our resets be a little bit slower. We're seeing some early scratch marks onto our Arella here. Beautiful catch-up onto Phaser. Very, very good stuff from Gallo so far, having quite an early injure.
Absolutely, and seeing the change from Ruin to Sloppy instead, I definitely think that was the right call for this killer.
Yeah, definitely. As we see him switch targets here onto FIDE, and now that we've got 2 injured across the board, we don't even really have to worry about Phaser getting any quick heals because Phaser's just dealing with Sloppy now with the hemorrhage.
And our only super quiet survivor this time round is Aurella. All the other survivors are actually quite loud, especially like during Spirit's phasing. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against. Was that a champion of light tech?
Yeah,
just
I
there?
believe that was a champion of light tech, but our killer wasn't phased. Oh, and we do see some more lag come through on Gallowflake's part. It's looking like he's pinging a little bit, but I believe we might be able to secure the down on FIDE here. FIDE is able to make the window, so it looks like we're just going to be phasing on the Shack pallet, blocking him away from that pallet, which is very, very smart, but we were able to call out the champion of light tech here.
Another champion of light tech just done by our Lara. Unfortunately, she didn't get away with that one though.
Yeah, very unfortunate. And we see our first hook come through. Our win con for Gallo is not too steep here, being able to having to secure 7 stages, which is honestly not too hard to secure on a killer like Spirit. It all really depends on how well our survivors do play and if they play as well as the last survivors did. They're just opting to apply Eruption to all these gens here nearby, and while also managing to hold our hook here and watch out for crosses. Straying a little bit far away from the hook, but it looks like we're just going to be going back now and seeing if anyone is willing to play for the pool or trade, possibly.
We've got some, well, we've got 3 gens that are currently have Eruption on them. Our survivors seem to be doing pretty decent to be putting at least a little bit of progress on multiple generators here.
Yeah,
Now we
definitely, and
see
we're seeing our Arella come in for a hook trade here, as we're opting to possibly slug this and commit to our Lara. Oh,
very
beautiful
good
round.
tracking there. Very good tracking.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Gallo play Spirit myself personally, but he seems to be locked in. He seems to know the basics of Spirit. Seems to know when to do things. So it's really really nice to see someone who's interested and good at a killer that they play.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, it looks like our survivors have little to no pressure across the board, with just barely any progress on these gens except the one on 11 corner. So that's 11 mid. And it's looking quite unfortunate for our survivors having our killer only needing to secure 7 stages to win this. Just looking around, seeing if we can spot anyone, but it looks like we strayed too far away from the hook, and the unhook on Fide comes through. And looks like we're just going to be committing to Fide for a tunnel out, I believe. Oh, and it looks like we'll do exactly that, but Shoal's playing for a hit tank. Just going to have to play with Fide, stall out Fide's chase as much as possible while our other survivors get progress on gens. Looks like Alara still stayed at this pallet, and we know that if you put your husk in front of a pallet, you're unable to vault. So looks like Alara will be out of this game quite quickly, which is very, very unfortunate. 4 gens remaining. How do we feel?
That palette play was definitely a very good play there, done by Gallo. The positioning can actually be quite challenging to get right, but it looks like he actually did a really decent job there because if our Lara had bolted back into him, she may have actually been stuck there.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we're getting a bit of lag while we wait to apply eruption on this generator. And yeah, I feel like Gallo here is doing insane considering that we're not playing for freshers, not playing for pain res hooks. Literally only has used 1 pain res, and is still managing to keep up the pressure here. So really, really good stuff.
And we see someone running into Shack at the moment.
Yeah.
Didn't catch exactly which survivor that was though.
You know, neither. It looks like they went edge map back of Shack and are just going to be stealthing there while they wait to be able to get back on their generator. Yeah, it looks like someone has definitely touched this generator, the eruption gen, and we're just going to be following their scratch marks and possibly committing to them. Looks like they're running main too. Honestly, our survivors here need a game changer chase. They need to play this 3v1 out quite slow, or things are looking quite grim for them.
And we see the tag here on our Rella.
Yeah, beautiful quick
Choosing
tag coming through, choosing to commit to our Arella in the main building here.
opting to vault the window to yeah, potentially secure a
Mind game, but it looks like
yeah.
the mind game doesn't happen. So Arella here is just going to have to juice out of our mind. But beautiful tracking from Gallo as usual. Lovely, lovely stuff so far. And eruption procs on the last 2 gens, where now we know where both survivors are. So it's looking really, really grim for them now. Kelly's just opting to go over here to the 5 side of the map and apply eruption on this gen, and then possibly going to go back down and check his other generator, or he's just going to look for someone around him.
Gallo's trying to see if anyone is trying to stealth around. Our Tori is slowly making her way around to go for that pull there.
Again, it looks like Tori had popped our third gen of the game, but it's just not going to be enough. Our survivors still need to pop two more gens and get two fresh hooks out the door to even tie this set. So it's really looking grim for them right now. Yeah, it's only looking darker now as we continue to chase Phaser here. And oh my god, it's just going to be another quick chase because of the beautiful tracking from Gallo. I think it's going to be Phaser out of the game or on Death Hook.
We can see our survivors. I think that is the Thalita, her aura over on that erupted gen.
You're just going to opt to stealth here. And even if Delita pops that gen, it's just still not enough. And the quick unhook coming through, applying Eruption to this gen, and possibly just going to go back and commit to Phaser, who was just unhooked. Jen, how do you feel about these survivors going in for quick unhooks compared to letting them sit on the hook for a bit?
It's definitely, to me, it's definitely an interesting play. Letting survivors sit on hook for that little bit longer reduces how quick that survivor can ultimately be tunneled out, unfortunately, like we've just seen here.
Yeah, definitely, and that's Phaser out of the game, unfortunately, due to the quick unhook coming through and the really good tracking from Gallo being able to spot her blood and follow her. So it's unfortunate, and it looks like our killer doesn't really care about that gen in the top left corner, because if they pop that, it's literally just not enough. They need to pop another gen on top of that to secure that win and get out, sorry, to secure that win. Looks like we're just going to be committing to our Tori here and getting possibly a quick tag onto her. Yeah, looks like a quick tag comes through onto Tori. It's a 2v1 here. Having to pop two gens, no one can be hooked. It's looking almost impossible to me.
Very good tracking there. Looked like our Tori was going to try and fake that window vault.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the win condition for Memories being met. Memories will be moving on to Blood Rush League Season 3. Meanwhile, Xtra will be eliminated. So it's unfortunate, but Xtra here is just going to have to play out for the best result they possibly can in this 2v1 scenario. What do you think? What do you think could happen here, Jen?
It's very possible, like seeing Gallo's skill level here on Spirit, you can definitely tell that Gallo is quite comfortable with playing Spirit, knows his way
Definitely.
around Spirits, like Spirit's phasing techs and positioning, especially when it comes to pallets. Excellent tracking that we've seen as well. So it's very possible we could definitely get the 4K one here.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. And it looks like our Survivor fake dropping this pallet twice and then getting the reverse stun. Very, very beautiful from Shoal. But it looks like we're just opting to leave Shoal here and look for reveal. And we do hear Athalita here and getting the hit through the window. Very, very good stuff from Gallo here.
So now we see both our remaining survivors left. They're both injured, so unfortunately they're quite vulnerable here.
Oh, almost coming through. Good tracking from Gallo, but it just wasn't enough for Athalita.
Very
A
good
little bit
tracking,
mixed up.
unfortunately coming out of that phase. Slightly impatient there with that swing.
It looks like we're placing our husk on the window and getting a beautiful quick down onto Revel here. Revel did really, really good in that chase, but it's just not enough because you needed 6 stages on the set to even tie it. So it's really, really unfortunate for Extra survivors, but they came in here, they gave the tournament a try. They got a bit unlucky versus, in my opinion, one of the strongest South American teams. So it's a bit unfortunate for them, but they did their best and they put up a good fight.
Absolutely, like the gameplay that we've seen from both teams, they've done really well. That was a little bit of a lag spike
Yeah,
there.
Gallows net is definitely something tonight, but definitely very, very well played from Gallo, even considering the lag spikes he's having. Beautiful pallet drop from Shoal here, playing this patiently, playing this very, very nicely. Looks like Gallo's just gonna be opting to phase. Oh, is this more lag? Looks like we're still
Yes.
lagging. Gallo
Is,
net moment.
is that lag or is it a new slide tech for Spirit?
Slide tag. Definitely a slide tag. It looks like we've possibly lost our Tory due to the lag, so it's really, really unfortunate for Gallo here. Just gonna be holding Revel on the hook while Tory just goes and strolls around the map, I assume.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Gallo losing Tori there, like Tori could literally be anywhere at this point by now. That lag spike, unfortunately, really, yeah, really kind of missed over Gallo.
Yeah, but I also don't think Gallo has too much to be fussed about. His win con was 7 stages. He's secured 9 so far. Sorry, 8 so far. And it's like honestly he could literally go AFK at this point and he's won, so he's not too worried about losing her. We do find her now on the little crane and the little crouch coming through, but unfortunately, it is not enough. So that will be Memories moving on to the main brackets and the main season of Blood Rush League. Very, very unfortunate for Xtra having to verse a really, really strong team on their qualifier match, but they did do their best, and that is what matters. Thank you for casting with me tonight, Jen.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.